Got it. Okay.
Okay. So I guess I should introduce myself first, just so because you're kind of just a guest on this type of thing.
Uh-huh.
So, well, I'm gonna say my name is Anime Slayer because on my channel I don't ever use my name, but my name is Anime Slayer and I'm a college student and I'm a huge Evangelion fan, which kind of started this whole idea, if you will. And probably my favorite anime. There's a couple that come close, like Berserk and Cowboy Bebop, but in the last couple of years, I feel like I've been watching more anime because of Evangelion. But yeah,
Okay, so I can go now.
yes, you can.
Okay, so I'm Jojo. I'm gonna go by that.
Okay,
And I'm a college dropout, slay on that part. I work full time, sadly. Um, Ava is probably my favorite anime of all time. I literally have a tattoo of the Sele logo on
okay,
my chest. Fun fact. And that's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got.
that's a cool intro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I plan on getting more like Ava tattoos on me.
And what did you
So,
have in mind?
huh?
What did you have in mind for another tattoo?
I would love to get. I don't know how to say their names correctly, but one of the angels, the big orange one with
The
the
one in the
eyeball.
eye?
Yes, that
Yes,
one.
yes.
I want to get that one tattooed somewhere. Oh my god, he's my favorite angel. Favorite angel. I love him.
I would say he's my favorite, but I like Ramel just because of how aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that one. I get that one.
So
I do.
one, yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go.
Okay. So I would get a tattoo too, and it'd probably just be a congratulations on my arm.
Real.
Yeah,
Real. I have, yeah, I have 3 tattoos. I plan on getting more, but they are expensive.
they are. So I guess the first question I have that we can both answer, and you could go first this time, is how did you get into watching the show?
Oh, this is I have a okay. So basically, I was in the 8th grade, so many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
To give you an idea, I'm 21 now. I'm about to be 22 next month, so it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Um, but I watched it in 8th grade because I had a really close friend of mine. Um, he told me that was his favorite anime at the time, and he told me he loved it. It was so good, and I was like, okay, can't be any better than Orin High School Post Club. Turns out, definitely was. So it has a very big importance to me now because that friend I'm no longer friends with, that he holds a very important spot in my heart. And he told me about Ava, so
Mm.
I've loved Ava ever since. And it's just that good.
Yeah. I respect that.
Really.
Yeah.
Good.
So for me, it's interesting because the way I watched the show was that I'd always seen it like randomly on Instagram. Like I'd always seen like Oscar and Ray and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what the way it went down is that me and my little brother had always wanted to watch a show together, and we didn't know really what to watch. It was more so like I was suggesting something like simple, like Yasha or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we've heard the intro to like Kuro Angel's Thesis before, and we really
Yeah.
like. So we're like thinking this show can be like probably like a mecha show. That's all we thought it was gonna be, honestly. And then when we started watching it, like we kind of got that vibe, like of it being a cool mecha show. But then in the first couple episodes, I feel you can tell something's kind of up. And
Mm-hmm.
as we started watching it, like it kind of became more so like me dragging him along because his mind was so blown by everything. But I was more so like once we were like already 10 episodes in, we made like a weekly thing. Oh, we're gonna watch Evangelion on Monday, you know. So
So real.
and he likes it, like he'll say like he didn't like it, like how complicated it was. Yeah, he'll always send me Evangelion memes and make his profile picture Ray and stuff like that.
Very real, understandable. Because
Yes.
it is hard to understand, especially
Yes.
if you're younger.
But I think it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing because now he has such high expectations for shows now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's like he's actually he started his freshman year of high school, so
Oh wow. Oh wow. That's crazy. I just find that so silly because like, especially if like I've watched the show for so many times,
mhm.
and because it's number one.
Yes.
But watching it when I was really young and like recently watching it like a couple months ago, like all over, I can definitely tell like back in the day, I obviously did not understand a single thing that was going on, at least mentally what was going on. But like now, since I'm older, been through very similar situations, I'm like, oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I actually feel that actually makes sense.
And like another thing, I whenever I tell people about the show, I always tell them the last two episodes, if you remember, like how it's just kind of crazy erratic
Yes.
of like the Shinji's mind.
Hmm.
I always tell people, I'm like, please watch the movie to understand it, because if you
Yes,
don't watch the movie, you won't understand the last two episodes.
of course.
But yeah.
Okay, so kind of segueing with that, one of the other things is that I'll go first, and it's our favorite characters, and we talked about this before, but my favorite character is Asuka, just because I get shit a lot in the community. She gets a lot of slander and stuff like that, and I understand why. Like, I'm not saying she's a perfect person or anything
Yeah.
like that, but I like how they present this character who's like super confident, but internally doesn't like herself at all. And I thought that was really nice, and I thought it was creative how there's always hints of it throughout the show of her like wanting affection from Shinji and thinking she wanted to be with Kaji, but more so she was just wanting affection in general. And then I will say it got increasingly sad for me when throughout the show, like when she just falls into a mental like depression, like especially when Kaoru comes into play, like she's
Oh
just
yeah.
like destroyed by that point. And her thing with her mom and all that, and it's just a lot. And I think I like how she was able to be like the voice for the group because Rei and Shinji are naturally really quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So she was able to be that voice. I mean, granted, it was kind of not obnoxious but loud sometimes, but and I think all this Oscar slander, it's hard to be an Oscar fan these days.
Hard to be an Oscar fan these days.
Yes.
Real, because I fucking hate her. But favorite character is probably will always be Ray. I love her so much. The ideal, the creation of her is amazing. And like, if you're gonna put this online, I'm not gonna like spoil, but I think you're gonna get what I'm saying.
Yes.
But like the way how she was created from the ideal of Shinji's dad,
Mm-hmm.
Kendo, I don't want to say his name. How he created that, and how it's just like it's just so good. It's so good. And like how she finally comes to the conclusion of, I'm not your doll. I'm
Yes.
not. I'm not like this emotionless freak.
Yeah.
Like she's a real person, but like she isn't at the same time, and she always realizes that she has these feelings, and she can smile. I love her. I love her. She's an angel that needs to be protected all the time. But another character would be Masato, because of she's kind of like Asuka in a way. Masato is. I have a connection with them too,
Mm-hmm.
because like I think they're very similar, but Masato's just older.
Yes.
But she's not as boastful as Asuka is either. Because I feel like, yeah, Anyways, I'm getting off topic, but yeah,
I
Ray's
think,
number one.
yeah, I think to build off on that, I think not a character, but like I love the idea of Evo 001, honestly.
Oh
And
yeah.
I just think it was really brilliant the fact they were able to like make this whole embodiment of like how you can see the always connections between the unit and Shinji. And I think throughout the series they really get that well. And also like a side
Oh,
note, I think the colors of the Evas and the pilots are just really aesthetically pleasing. Like Rey has one of the best like color palettes ever, honestly.
oh my gosh, she does. It's beautiful. Her Ava matches her.
Yes.
It's like the prototype 00. Amazing. She. It's just a good like look,
Hmm.
and like it's very cool how they made her robot this like unstable one who always like kind of fucks up a lot.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. But and like then you get onto like Shinji's like robot and how he has a really good connection.
Hmm.
I wonder why.
Yeah,
But
of course.
but and then you get on to Asuka's, I don't really like her Ava. I don't like the head of it for some reason. I don't like the four eyes looking thing, like four laser beam looking things. I didn't care for them. But her Ava is really cool, and I like how she connects with it, and then you see it, decrease over
Yeah.
time. Great. I love I really love what they've done. They've done a great job. Should have left
But
it that way.
yeah, they well,
Should have just left it that
I'm
way.
for sure we'll get into that. But
Oh.
so I guess a good transition is that I actually wrote down is what is something you don't like or least favorite part about the show?
Oh, I don't know. That's kind of hard for me because since I literally have a connection to everything, I guess I can say that I don't really care for, but they are important. Like they are important. But like I don't really care for, you know, the government
Yeah.
aspect of Ava because they're kind of useless, but they are kind of there to promote the time, not the. I guess for the movie, they have more of importance, but like during the show, they don't do
Yeah.
much. Like, what's that one Ava that they made? Like, Biggie Smile, whatever.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The one that just has a really big smile, walks a lot, and that's it.
Yeah.
Uh, I just kind of felt like that was kind of. I guess like if I'm gonna say anything I don't care for, it's probably that. And I didn't like. I will say I don't like how they made. I don't know how to say his name. Tojo,
Told you, yeah.
Toji. Yeah, I didn't like how they made him and Ava. And like, I understand why they did it, but I didn't like it. But that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. I think I don't like that too, just because I felt we had a good little moment between him and Shinji because it's interesting he
Yeah.
initially punches Shinji because Shinji like inadvertently caused his sister to get hurt in his
Yeah.
first pilot. And I think their like moment of like, oh, him apologizing and being like a big man to him is good. I do agree. I don't like how they kind of forced him to be the Ava pilot because the Ava he was controlling eventually went like berserk and then Shinji,
Dirk.
yeah,
Had to.
which I like. I
Yeah.
like that mode. But I think something I didn't like about the show overall was like I wish they kind of explored like more of like not the people like working for Nerve, but like kind of more to that. But I do think they did a good
Um,
job with like Ritsuko and stuff like that.
I would, yeah, I to add on to that, I wish they did do a little bit more with the coworkers, even though
Correct.
they're not extremely important. But I mean, there's obviously a little something because in the movie there's a little something,
Of course, yeah.
especially with the computer girl and
Yeah, with Maya.
Francisco. Yeah, Maya and her like seems kind of LGBT, and I'm all for that. I would love to see that. And how the guy with the glasses, I forgot his name, how he probably really liked Masato. I would have loved to see that too.
Yeah, of course.
And like, I just like to see a little bit more into like, not a whole bunch. They don't need to put a whole bunch in. Just a little bit.
And I will say that like when you hear people who like don't like the show, they'll bring up the fact like the characters are like have big flaws, but I think that's actually a strength of the show is that if you have characters who have like flaws, they're not like you can say, "Oh, I like these characters," but you like them because oh, they have flaws and yet they're still likable, you know? Like I like Asuka even though she's like a loudmouth and kind of obnoxious, but I also like how she lets herself be happy around Shinji sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that, I showed one of my closest friends this anime because I kept bragging about it. I kept telling him about it. I was like, got to watch it. It is so good. And we watched it together because I was like, if you're going to watch it, shit, I'm going to watch it too. And he's a very big like action anime person.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the same age as me. He did not understand like the flaws, the whole emotional attachment in the anime at all. And he was like, I didn't like it because there's too much like going on.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't care for that. And I'm like, I guess, but that's what makes Ava have that charm that you can connect to it. Maybe. I mean, I feel like a lot of people can connect to Ava because of the flaws of the people. It shows you the dirty, the nitty gritty of like the human psyche of like, it's just so good. And like, it made me very upset whenever you said that. I was like, damn. That's sad.
Yeah, sometime.
Because I mean, yeah, it's definitely not for everybody. Like,
yeah, of course.
But it is upsetting because like, it is so beautifully made. The characters are well developed. They are made perfectly. And honestly, I would not change anything in this anime at all. Because it's just that good. But yeah.
I did a lot of that. I did a lot of that, honestly.
Real.
I do. So you touched on it earlier, and I wanted to talk about this because last time you talked about it and you wanted to share your thoughts on the rebuilds.
I am God's biggest hater to the rebuilds. I hate the rebuilds with everything in my heart. They are dumb, pointless. They are not canon, in my personal opinion. Oh, they're canon. No, they are not. Stop lying to yourself. But yeah, they're garbage. I don't like them. I mean, they're good movies. Don't get me wrong. They're good movies. But they're just a movie. They're not a part of Ava at all.
I agree. And I feel when I watch them, I just don't feel like they had the same emotional weight as the series, honestly.
It didn't. It didn't have that emotional connection that I had. Yeah, Shinji's depressed 24/7, but it didn't have the lighthearted moments of Masato being, jokingly loving with him, being like that. Not a motherly figure, but like a good figure in his life to push him into the right way and to keep him going. Or have, Ray was a queen in the movies. I don't care. Especially in that last movie, she was so cute. I loved her. She was amazing. I loved her. But I hated that they've made Asuka this rude, mean character in the rebuilds. I hated that. Yeah, I don't care for Asuka, but I hated what they did to her. I hated that they did that to her. Like, why would they? Yeah, she's this boastful character, but y'all didn't have to make her that mean. Like, she is cruel to no reason, especially in that last one. I just did not like it. Mari, whatever that loser's name is, I don't like her. She can jump off a cliff. Pink bitch can leave. Hate her. Honestly, if she was first to go, she would be first to go.
And I think my biggest issue with her is that we had like people, because I can only imagine people who watched the show when it came out, and the
Yeah.
connection they have with it. So I can only imagine how they felt when they saw characters they've been bonding with for years, and they introduce this new character, Marin, who literally gets a better ending than their other characters who they've been liking for years.
Pearl? Oh, hey, baby. Sorry. Oh, here you go. But yeah, I like. Why didn't they use? I do not know how to say his name, but the guy with the glasses, the dad in the military. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't use him. He wanted to be one.
Yes.
Like, or why didn't they give Toji a second chance? Like what? Why didn't we use characters that were already in the show and not make up this new character who's spunky? Like, I don't care. I don't care about this girl. I want her dead. Personally, I would love an angel to destroy her. Personally, just me though.
No, I can see that. I can see that, but they wanted so, and then there's this whole ending of where, like, I get like, they wanted a happy ending, but the whole show was never about that, honestly.
Ava is not about happy endings. Ava is the reality check of Shinji.
Yes.
I don't want to see Shinji happy in the end. I don't want to see that. I want everybody saying congratulations to him at the very end.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's all I want to see. Shinji's supposed to suffer. And that's what's going to happen. Yeah, he's a loser. But I mean, what do you expect?
And I think it kind of disregarded like just everything else that they had done. Like when you kind of talked about how like they were saying congratulations, I feel like that was such a big accomplishment for him because he realized, yeah,
like it told him it's okay to be alive, even though I just killed everybody. But like, it just took a dump over it. I feel like the rebuilds just took a dump on those last two episodes, on the third impact, on the movies, on the last two movies. Like, I just feel like it took a dump on it. And like, oh, this is a better timeline. How about kiss my grits on that one? All right? I don't know. I hate the rebuilds. I feel like when they try to recreate that one scene, I told you about this. The recreation of that scene of end of Evangelion. Like, why would y'all do that? Especially to Asuka. First of all, y'all didn't have to do that to her, making her busting from the seams.
Yes.
And creating this fan service, knowing she's a 14-year-old. I don't care in the movies that they've got older. I don't believe that. They are 14. Don't make her showing her boobs and ass out. How about them beans? And I just hated that they did that. I just hated that they try to recreate that scene, and then they try to recreate the Ray head.
Yes.
I hated that part because I'm like, do y'all want to be end of Evangelion? But y'all are not. Y'all can't ever touch that again because y'all have already ruined it.
Yes.
Like, y'all ruined the timeline trying to be end of Evangelion. I understand this movie took forever to come out. And it was a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I cried in it. I cried when Ray, like, popped.
Yes.
Sobbed immediately. But other than that, it was a good movie, but it's not a part of Ava. It looked gorgeous. It was very pretty. It was a very beautiful movie. Not a big fan of CGI, but what am I to talk about? I can't even do it, so. I don't know. There was so much y'all could do with the rebuilds, and y'all picked the wrong choice.
Yes.
Like, y'all did the worst thing y'all could have done. Like, it could have been worse, but y'all could have done better.
I do agree. It's not horrible. The only problem is you're comparing it to something like so great, it's kind of hard, when it's like that.
Yeah, like compare the original series with the two movies to the rebuilds.
Yes, it's not close.
They're they're nowhere. The only thing that's similar is that the characters are
Yes,
there.
the same properties, yeah.
They look the same, but their personalities are not the same, in my personal opinion. Like, they changed Masato completely. I feel like they changed Asuka to this, I don't know, brutal person that shouldn't be this mean, especially to Shinji. I mean, she's mean to Shinji, but I feel like they just umped her up so much that I just didn't like it. Whoever Mari is, forget her. Ray, she was always a queen, so it really didn't matter. Shinji, I feel like I don't know. I feel like they didn't change Shinji that much, but I just didn't like what they've done.
Yeah.
Especially with Masato, that's my main problem. I did not like how they changed her at all. She was a queen, and then they made her a silly jester.
Yes, and I feel like that just summarizes it all. Is that like the original Evangelion was depressing at times, but you had stuff like how you said how Misato and stuff like that. Now everything is just cold. It feels like in the rebuilds.
Like, she's just this cold figure, and she's not that.
Yes.
She's not a mean, cold person. She's not a heartless character. Like, at times she might seem like she's, being hard on Shinji, but she's doing it to get him to do it.
Yes.
But I feel like in the movies, there's no love, there's no care. Like, she doesn't love him like his own. Like her own, I mean. But I don't know. I did not like what they did with her. She did look cool though. Her character design was pretty cool.
So to kind of segue from that, and I know what your answer. I think I know what your answer is going to be to this, but I wanted to ask because it's something that's become more mainstream throughout the years, and that is, if they wanted to make a live action Eva, would you support that?
Oh, hell no. I hate live action. I am the biggest hater to live action. I've always have. I hated the live action Death Note. I hated the live action Full Metal Alchemist. The One Piece was alright. I'll give them a slide because they did a really good job. See, if they could do something like, the quality of like the live action One Piece, and they put that in Ava, maybe I would watch it. Maybe. But like, I just feel like they need to put Ava down. put it down. Don't pick it back up again.
Yes.
All right. Like, Ava's extremely popular. Very popular. But I feel like nobody knows what Ava is at the same time. Because anytime I talk about it, everybody's like, well, I also live in the fucking South. So, but I feel like it's extremely popular, but it's also not. It's very popular in memes. The music is phenomenal.
Yes.
Best anime soundtrack there is, my opinion. My opinion's right. But I just feel like if they made it into a live action and they put it on Netflix, it would get way more mainstream. And I'm a gatekeeper, so I wouldn't like that. I'm just gonna be real. Even though it's already extremely popular, but I feel like it's in that one little corner of like people who like it. I don't know. Because I know it's big. I know it's popular. But I don't want to get it any more bigger than it already is. But, yeah. I wouldn't like it. I don't care for live actions. I actually hate live actions.
I think the only way I would support it / watch it is like, I don't even know, because like the prospect of it sounds like nice in some senses, like
Yeah.
the cinematography and stuff like that. But I feel like once they got down to actually the scenes of just talking, they would flop so hard on that.
Oh yeah, they couldn't. I feel like they couldn't portray the actions, the words, and I feel like they would change things too. And like, all right, I'm gonna sound terrible, but they would be like, let's diversify it. Don't
Yes.
diversify it. Please don't do that. Ava should be Ava. Do not change it at all. Like if they want to do it cool, I probably would watch it because it's Ava, but
Mhm.
don't try to, make it something it's not.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Yes, diversification is great. It's wonderful. But don't do that to Ava. I feel like they would try to do that, and I would not like that. Because I'm a very like I'm autistic. I like my stuff exactly how it is. Don't change it. I just feel like they would change it. I hated whenever Netflix got Ava and they took out some scenes.
Yes.
I was so mad about that because I was like, this is not right. This is not right. Even though it wasn't much, it was not much taken out. But and then they took out the ending song "Fly Me to the Moon" because they didn't
They
want to pay
did.
for it.
They did. I
I'm
didn't
like,
like them.
that's cringe. That's cringe. You're supposed to give me some soothing music after this trauma. But I feel like I wouldn't care for a live action Ava. It would not be good, in my opinion.
I don't think it
Yeah.
was either, but I think I would just watch it just to like it's Eva, so I would watch it, but I feel at the
Yeah.
same time that means that if I don't like it, I'm just gonna like rip it anew. I don't I wouldn't accept it if it was bad, I guess.
It's like what I'm gonna do what I've done with the rebuilds. Forget
Yes,
about it.
exactly. Exactly.
Just put it on the shelf. It's there, but it's not real.
It's fan
But
fiction at that point.
it is fan fiction. Literally, that's what it is. That is actually what. Yeah, that is what it is. Fan fiction. But yeah, big sleighs on that part.
But then another question I have is because do you watch anime kind of frequently or no?
Oh, I watch it all the time. I've been watching anime all my life.
Okay. So do you think after you watched or like since you watched Evangelion have you made comparisons between Evangelion and other stuff or no?
No, I will never compare any anime to Ava because there's no anime to compare it.
Yeah.
There have been animes to try to be Ava in certain ways. Like, I refuse. See, I actually hate this one anime, Darling in the Expanse, something like that.
Yeah.
I hate that anime because it wants to be Ava so bad, but it can't beat it. It can't be it. No anime could ever be Ava, ever. No, I feel like no anime can go that deep like Ava did. And if somebody did, I feel like, oh, they're just copying. That's it. I will never compare any animes to Ava because you just can't, in my opinion. Like, it's just so deep. It's so good. You just can't compare
I think
it.
it's interesting because I have other shows that because I gave Eva like a 10 out of 10 and that was the first time I thought about that like as a show. Like
Mhm.
it's a perfect show. And I think I've watched shows that I also think are 10 out of 10s but I don't think they're ever going to be because of the same reasons because of Eva.
Oh yeah, like trust me. Like one of my other favorite animes is I like Jojo. Jojo is a very good anime in my opinion. It is super good, but it's nothing. It won't be a 10 out of 10 because Ava's a 10 out of 10, and so is JoJo, in my opinion. But they are completely different on why they're both 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
Like, Orin High School Host Club, that's an old favorite of mine. Controversial, I know, but it's very funny. But it can't compare to either one of those two. Like, I just can't, I just feel like that's just how I am. Like, I just can't compare other animes, the ones I like, together. Because, like, you can't compare, like, what's that new anime everybody's talking about? Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
to Demon Slayer. You just can't compare them. I feel like you can't compare any animes together, in my opinion.
I wish I could be that way, but I don't compare every show, but I do think like I am critical of shows when I'm watching them. That's why
Oh yeah,
I do think ever since I did watch Evangelion, it's kind of like it kind of taught me to look for deeper meanings in shows. Like, for example, the show Black Lagoon. Like that
oh
show is
yeah.
just about crime and stuff like that. But when you look into it more so, it talks about like how messed up the crime world is, but actually in relation to like politics and stuff like that, is it really that different, you know?
I mean, real, because like I will say, Ava has created like what you've said. Like it makes you to be a little bit more critical to what you're watching. Like I don't watch a lot of animes that have a bunch of fan service or it's just action. Like I don't care for it because like it's just I don't know. I want a meaning. I want some deep meaning. That's just me. Like Wolf Children. Oh my god, life changing. Shook me to my core. It was so good, and like it's such a cute little anime and manga as well. It's just I don't know. Like you gotta be. I don't know. It definitely made me more critical to what I read and like what I watch.
And I think that actually can be a positive thing because now you're always looking for like I guess the more in anime because like at its core, like when you ask people like who don't watch anime, they'll probably think it's just, big breasts and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I think once you get across shows like Evangelion, it really shows you that how it can be an art form in my opinion and how it just overall like just self values like about how Evangelion like about your own worth. That's what I think I took the biggest thing away from especially the last episode. I think last episode really was helpful for me because just that whole message of like you can how could you possibly love anyone when you don't love yourself, you know?
Right. Right. And it has that meaning in it. It's just so like you can't like I don't know, you just can't beat it. I've never watched another anime that's like that. The only one that I know I said I couldn't compare it, but if I did have to make a comparison, Madoka Magica would be
Yeah.
a very close comparison because it also has very deep meanings of self love and all of that. What are you? Sorry, that was my cat. But yeah, you just can't find anime like that anymore, especially nowadays. I feel like a lot of animes nowadays never touch those deep dark meanings at all.
Yeah.
Or the ones I've seen that are mainstream, there are probably probably some new ones that I haven't looked at. I mean, that's why I kind of like I stray far away from mainstream new animes because they're kind of all the same in my opinion. Same type of action, same type of like plot points. I just like you said earlier that you like Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
That's some really good. Like that's a really good show. Like very good. Has some good meanings in it. It's a good show. And it has. I just feel like a lot of animes nowadays just don't touch what Ava did.
I
You
think to
know.
build off on that, I think because my favorite era is like the 90s anime, I think that's something I've been really exploring these last couple of years. And I think
Oh yeah.
when I watched that, because so another show is like like one of my favorite movies is A Ghost in the Shell. And I really feel
Oh.
that movie and like that whole era was just like was just really full of like exploration, honestly. And like how you said how I feel like it's just because I feel it's anime is so mainstream, like which I really like. I like how everyone can have their own show, but it's also if you're putting out so much anime in one, like, because I'm pretty sure like per year there's probably at least like 30 shows, and if you're gonna have like 30 shows, like there's not all of them are gonna be like of the best quality, which is unfortunate
Oh
because
yeah.
I feel back then, obviously due to like timing restraints and budgets, like I feel they had to be more important with their time. That's why you get shows like how you and Evangelion and stuff like that, because it was a time where anime wasn't mainstream in America. Now it is. So obviously you don't have to be as, you know, the critics aren't going to be as hard on you, you know?
Yeah. And that's why I hate that. Like I said, I am a gatekeeper. I was bullied for liking anime when I was younger. Um, so I hate that it's mainstream now. Big hater to it. I dislike it so much because that was my little corner. Now this
Yes.
is just me being a hater. Because that's what I am. It's
I'm
my
all for it.
job.
Go for it. Go for it.
Like I hate that. Like, why you made fun of me for watching Naruto, Soul Eater, you know, all of that. And like, don't get me wrong, I was weird growing up. I was a weird kid, but I wasn't like barking or wearing tails to school or anything. I was a normal kid. I just liked the anime and I drew anime characters like on my papers, and I
Yeah.
did write fan fiction, but I didn't let anybody see them. So why did you make fun of me? But now you're watching it. Excuse me, I would fight you. I would actually drive to your house and fist fight you myself. Like that is so. I hate that. I hate that it's mainstream. I actually really do, because that was my little comfort corner. That was like my little section. No one would bother me. And then here it is, mainstream. I hate that. I hate that. I actually really do.
I will
Biggest
say
hater.
that I would say the whole like phenomenon of anime is like of it becoming popular. I have mixed emotions about it because I'm happy that like a lot of people like it and a lot of people like can have their different takes on it. Like for example, I don't like the Demon Slayer community at all, and
Real.
yeah, I don't like them at all. And I whenever I do, like I always sneak this them whenever I can, but I do think it is good that it is like something that could be talked about, because I even like put my stepdad on Dragon Ball because he was interested about it and it's become more popular. But I think it's also become where just because a stream or like an influencer, like I think that's been like one of the biggest things I don't like, is that you'll have streamers who will just openly say they like anime, when if we rewind like 20 years ago, that would really people would look at you in a different light if you said you liked anime even like 10
Yeah.
years ago, you know?
Yeah, and like I feel like since anime is like now mainstream, say you have a popular streamer or a big Instagrammer and they say, "Oh, we like this anime," and it's a dog shit anime, people are just gonna go berserk over it.
Yes.
How I feel about certain animes, they will be nameless, but I just don't like how it's mainstream. Big hater to it. I'm also just a big hater in general, but
I think on that
that's
thing you have, I think it makes sense. I get why you hate it. I
oh
don't
yeah,
necessarily hate it, but I do think it's become a little oversaturated, honestly.
yeah, I'm in my room right now and like I have like a big not a big selection, it's like a little selection of manga that I've gotten over the years. And like if I brought any of those books, especially in like middle school, my ass would have been bullied. I mean, I was, but way worse if I brought them things. But if I brought them to school now, it'd be like, "Oh my god, can I read it? What are you reading?" Like, I would kick your ass tenfold. But yeah, big
Yeah,
hater.
I think to just end on that note, I think it's even more so like I do like how it's become more readily available. Like for example, if
Oh
I want
yeah.
to buy merch of Evangelion, I can find it really easily now, which I
Oh
like.
yeah.
I like that. But I will say I will agree with you on that point, is that I never collected manga. I collect anime figures, and my room
Mm-hmm.
is a lot of anime figures. Like, and I do think if I had that when I was younger, because I was bullied, but not bullied for liking anime. I was just more bullied because of my looks. But I would say I would say that that I did like when it was, I think I was in high school. I think I remember I dressed up as Goku one year,
Oh yeah.
and then I went on the bus like that. and it was crazy. And then, but yeah, I do think it's a bit of it's double edged because I like how I can like on college right now go like I could find a lot of people who watch anime, but then
Yeah, there's
I
like
find a lot of
anime
people.
clubs.
Yes, exactly.
Like there's just, I mean, yeah, I will say I do like how it's easy for me to buy. Like I collect Ava figures and only Ava figures. I haven't collected in a long time, but um, they were easy for me to get because they're they're available. Kind of harder because they are older figures, but still, they're easier than what it would have been whenever I was like elementary, high school, middle school. But yeah, real.
And one of the things I have is if you could summarize the Evangelion fan base in one word, which word would it be?
The fan base or like the show?
The fan base.
Weird. That's all I can say. Weird or odd, I'll take either one of those two. Um,
I actually will ditto that because it's the fan base is a really interesting organism. It has a lot of moving parts in it, honestly.
it's the mitochondria.
Yeah, it's
Powerhouse of
really
the.
a deep dive if you get into it.
See, that's why I don't consider myself a part of the fan base because of how strange those individuals can be, especially towards 14-year-olds. That's why I don't like them. Um, so I try to stay far away from that fan base.
I agree. I think it's interesting because like I don't think it's a bad fan base, but I do think there are some subsets that are a
There's
little
way worse.
yeah, there's way worse. I will agree with you that.
Demon
And
Slayer.
yeah, exactly. And I agree with you that. And then I just think the fan base, like I don't know, I think because I went to Anime Expo and they had like a whole like Evangelion, not a booth, but where people would meet up like
Yeah.
that. And then I got to talk to a lot of people there, and it's just you get a really different vibe from people who are like diehard Eva fans, especially you have a group of them. It's just you're
Oh,
really like a black hole, honestly.
like, ew. I don't know. Like, I've met a few Ava fans, and the ones I have been really good people. Like, one of my best friends, um, him and his girlfriend, they both love Ava, and they are wonderful people, and they're cool to talk to about it. Because, like, I don't know, some of them are really good. I've met some really good people, but I've also talked to a few people on, like, the internet who are weird and crazy, but it's also the internet. So,
Yeah, of course.
but yeah. Big fan of Ava, love Ava, die hard, will forever love it.
So do you have a top five anime list?
Oh, I do. I gotta think on it though. Ava's number one, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not to be a poser, but Serial Experiments Lane.
Okay,
That's a correct
okay.
one. I love me some good older ones. Or in high school, of course. I mentioned it a few times already. It's a good one. And what else is there? What else can I think of out of my head? Trigun, not the new one, the old one.
Yes.
Trigun old is so phenomenal. I love it. And what is it called? It's called like I wouldn't. Is it an anime? Well, I'm just gonna say I don't know where I found it on. I don't know where. I think it was on Crunchyroll. I think, but it was called Mishibai. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. So sorry if I'm butchering it. But Mishibai is like these short, like horror of like Japanese like local folklore,
Oh, okay, yeah, I
and
know. I think I know what one.
it's like it's not like actual animations, like paper animations, and that's why I really like it. It's really good, and An honorable mention is Ghost Stories, English dubbed. You can't beat it. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's a different beast right there.
That it is, but it's so funny. And Yokai Watch is good too, even though it's a kid show.
Yeah.
Very good show. Yokai Watch is so funny. So funny. I love it. But yeah, that's all I got.
I respect that. I respect. I do. I watched Experimental Lane, and that was a lot. I didn't. That one caught me.
Yeah, that one's crazy. I love it. I love me a crazy anime. I love me a crazy girl. Because she's me. She's real. I love it. And her style's funky.
Yes.
An honorable mention, it's not an anime, but was made by Nintendo. Splatoon. They made a manga of it.
Yeah.
I will give that one because it's phenomenal, and I'm a big Splatoon fan. Love Pearl and Marina forever. But yeah, that's all I got. What's your five top? Give me your five top.
So I did owe you on number one because Evangelion is undisputed number one.
Right.
So I will make a disclaimer. Attack on Titan was in my top five, but I've gradually grown to dislike. It's just season four. I don't like season four of Attack on Titan.
Real.
And it's sad because I used to that show was easily in my top five. Now it's just not. Like I can't put it in there.
Yeah.
So I would say number two. It switches between because two and three are Berserk or Cowboy Bebop in any order of one or two or three.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say right now it'd probably be Evangelion, Berserk. And a lot of people like will talk about like because Berserk, the one I'm talking about is from 1997, and
Oh yeah.
there's a newer one though that is so bad, and the CGI is so horrible.
I've heard that.
Yes, and I can't even watch that. It's like, and what's great is that the 1997 is actually going to continue next year though.
Oh, good.
So yeah, and over 25 years, it took 25 years, but they're going to continue it. So number three is Cowboy Bebop, but that can change like daily, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And then number four it's I would say right now it's Kill la Kill.
Real.
Yes, because that was a show that really I didn't expect to like that much, and I like how playful it is, but I like how serious it can get sometimes.
I love that. I love that. Kill la Kill is so good. It's so good. I always forget about that one. And Akame got killed too. Those two I forget about.
And then number five is like, because number five, I would say it's between. That's tricky because number five is like on the outskirts, like borderline pushing a show out of the top five.
Yeah.
So I would land on probably Monster.
Ah.
Yeah, because that was a show that took me
Okay.
a while because it's 74 episodes, so it took me a while. But it's a show that the reason I'd say it's maybe top five is because I'm not gonna lie, there are some episodes that feel like filler or it's unnecessary sometimes.
Oh yeah.
But the main story is so strong and the protagonist is so good that I give it a top five. If it's not that, it's either Black Lagoon, honestly.
Okay. Real. I can get behind that. I can get behind that.
And then like you, an honorable mention would probably be either Ghost in the Shell because it's a movie, but I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, as I've gotten older, like I'm pretty sure if you asked me 10 years ago, like my number one probably would have been like Pokemon or something like that.
What?
10 years ago, my number one probably would have been like Pokemon or something like that.
Real. I get that.
I still like it though, but I mean, I think it's more like it's crazy
It's
because when you watch it, you didn't. When I first watched it, I didn't even know it was an anime. You know.
yeah, like it's kind of like an introductory. It's also a children's show, but I
Yes,
mean it's good though. I have nothing against that.
of course. Same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon for me.
Yo, Yu-Gi-Oh. I know let's get behind that one. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And Bakugan. I always got behind those. Those were great. Very good shows.
But
And
yeah,
I forgot to
well,
mention one. Forgot to mention one. I mentioned it earlier. Soul Eater. I just remembered. Iconic. Uh, it will never be number one, but it will be the most iconic one because I got in trouble for watching it. Because my oldest sister found out that I was watching Soul Eater, and they were like, "That's inappropriate for an 8-year-old, so don't watch that." So I was banned from watching it whenever I turned 13, I could watch it. But after that, yeah, got in trouble for watching that one. But it's really good, very good anime. I don't know if you've seen it. It is so good. My very first crush came from it. Corona. Shout out to my boy, Corona. Had the biggest crush on them. But yeah, had to mention that one real quick.
okay, so we reach. I don't have any more topics.
Real.
I made this big snake of topics, and we hit on so fast because that's what Evangelion does you, I guess.
Yeah. Big Ava fans talk about different aspects of it
For about an hour now.
for about an hour. Wow.
That's crazy.
That ain't too bad, ain't too shabby.
No, and I think going forward, I think I always like. I'm pretty sure I could watch like anime for another 20 years, and I wouldn't find a show that I like as much.
Oh, yeah. You can never find one that's similar or better than Ava, personally. Ones might try to be one, but it's just, we'll never compare.
Yes, I agree, and I think that's where I think we should leave it off.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So I want to thank you for doing this, for putting up with my insanity.
You're good. Thank you for listening to my ramblings.
And it was a fun talk, and I'm glad I found someone who sees this show the same way I do.
Of course. You know, gotta love Ava.
For sure. Thank you. And I
Of
hope
course. Of course. Have a wonderful day.